Today I am reading from the book Spirit of Homeopathy, book written by Dr.Rajan Sankaran. Philosophy part, chapter number 16, causation. Each remedy in the Materia Medica has a state caused by a specific factor which are listed as ailment from. These ailments comes from the two main sources, proving. For example, Anika produced sore bruise sensation as if he had been beaten. Hence, Anika is listed under the ailment from injury. Clinical sources. Second number is clinical sources. It has been found that remedy symptoms occur in a patients after some stressful emotions. For example, ailment from grief in ignitia. In both these cases, ailment from do not come directly from the proving, but rather a clinical application of the remedy. Hence, in clinical practice, they cannot be totally rely on the findings, the remedy, but at least one can be used for confirmation. A remedy has to be prescribed on symptoms and only then will it cure. Even if it is not recorded in specific ailment from, it will cure provided it covers the characteristic symptom. A remedy that covers ailment from will not cure a case if the characteristic symptoms do not match. When we get a definite symptom arising from the specific ailment from, we should examine the remedy listed against it in the repertory to see if any of them covers the case completely. If none does, we have to leave the list and find a remedy which covers the symptoms of the case. A study of causation listed in the remedy is very useful. It teaches us a lot about the particular remedy. For example, when we read that Anika has an ailment from blunt injury, we can understand the type of sensation that Anika produces: sore, bruise, feeling, soreness of the part lain on. Once we understand this, we will be able to use the Anika in many diverse situations such as typhoid fever, even without the history of injury. Whatever the condition, whatever the constitution of the patient is, when subjected to some blunt injury, he will most probably manifest Anika symptom. It therefore becomes his temporary medicine of that phase. It is no longer his peculiar individual symptom that we are taking to determine his remedy. However, if the patient manifests the same symptom either long after the injury, even without the history of injury, or the same symptom from little injury, means out of proportion reaction. In these cases, Anika is indicated not as a temporary but is a deep acting medicine for that patient. Symptoms observed in the following circumstances will represent the central disturbance of the person, and remedy selected for them will have a deeper and more lasting effect when the symptoms are found without any ailment from. They arise from different causation, example grief, anger, physical exertion, etc. And the patient states is caused by disproportionately minor events such as loss of sleep, even for 1 or 2 hours. In similar way, an ignitia picture without a very strong or recent history of grief would be highly suggestive of ignitia as a constitutional medicine. Thus, the ailment from in remedy help us in a negative way. Example, if remedy is indicated even in the absence of ailment from in the patient, it becomes doubtly indicated. In the same way, certain situations act as ailment from, like sepia, which has ailment from the birth of the many children. If the sepia state is found in such a woman and the state is proportional to the cause, the remedy will only act for time, and that too provided the maintaining factor is removed. But if the same state is found in a young girl, example without a cause, sepia will act on her very deeply and for a long time. Another example, a child give a symptom of sena, grinding teeth, itching rectum and crackiness. Naturally, you will suspect a worm. The parents tell you that they have tested his stool repeatedly and not found any sign of worms. Sena become much more indicated now than if there were worms. In the case of worm, these symptoms will be common, being due to the worms themselves. But in a case without worm, these symptoms become the central subsystem of the case, there being no local cause for them. Hence, they become an indication for the constitutional remedy. One of the best example I have seen in the cocculus. Cocculus has an element from loss of sleep and nursing the sick. In fact, this means that the central disturbance of the cocculus corresponds to the state produced when the person remains awake several nights with watchful anxiety about the sick relative. For example, mother looking after her sick child. Imagine her state after 4 or 5 nights of such sleepless anxiety. The nervous system is affected. The feeling is of a great weakness, dullness, giddiness, imbalance, and nausea. This weakness is accompanied by the tremendous sensitivity of the nerves, and they are raw and on edge. The mental state is great sensitivity and excitability. Sensitivity at the least noise, odor, looking at moving object, etc. This state will be ameliorated by cocculus in a woman who have been caring for her sick child. But if the same state is found in a person without the cause, loss of sleep with anxiety, etc., cocculus will be doubtly indicated.